Today, I'm going to talk about taxes, how I get vision of taxes, looking forward, seeing what opportunities or challenges are out there, and how I plan for that. I'm going to use a software package to do that. Should be exciting. This is not a real example, but I think you'll get a good overview of how I do this planning. This video was prompted from a discussion I had on Friday. I have a retirement group that gets together every Friday at a donut shop. And the vast majority of them have a pretty good pension. I do not. And they were all talking about RMDs, all RMDs. Now, most of this group is in their 70s, early 80s, and they were all just talking about it and commiserating. I think that's a word. Wallowing in their hard luck, which, if you have RMDs, that means you saved a lot of money. So I don't feel too sorry for you. But managing it right and having clear vision of it to be able to manage it and take action is a big deal. Okay, so let's get started here with an example. I'm going to share my screen. I believe it is fully shared now. You'll see me on the side, and I'm going to be looking at my screen over here. So first thing you'll see it is an overview of this is a new retirement screen. Yeah, new retirement. I was looking at something else. Sorry for the little distraction there. And you can see they got a high probability of success. What we're going to do is I'm going to walk down this screen, this little text index over here on the side. First time using this software, it asks you questions just like TurboTax, boom, boom, and walks you through it. And then once you get real familiar with it, you can kind of hunt and peck like I'm going to here. So let's take a look at at this couple. First of all, they have, and I got certain amounts in here to drive home a point. Don't get hung up in the amounts. Every single person is different. This person the couple has a tax deferred account, like a 401k IRA, 1.2 million. You can add more to that. You can change the returns that are expected, sorry. Then any after-tax accounts, people have a after-tax brokerage account of $50,000, or actually, yeah, $50,000, then a high-interest savings account of $50,000, bringing their total to 1.3. They have a $400,000 house in Indiana, fully paid for, no debt, income. So these two people, both are born in January. Their age is 62 presently. They have Social Security, $3,000 one. The spouse is $1,500. They're planning on taking that at 67. So you can put that in. You can just change that whatever you want. Look it up on the socialsecurity.gov website. Find out your amount. Put that in here. It's not complicated at all. So, and then they have a pension. This is what I wanted to highlight this time is they've got a pension. This is like Joe's pension, $2,000 a month. That's not my real pension. I just put that in there. Okay. And one of the things to note, this $2,000 a month plus you've got $3,000 coming in from Social Security. That's at 67, so in 5 years. So 2,000 plus 3 is 5,000 plus the spouse is 6,500. So 6,500 really coming in, covering most of their expenses you're going to see, 6,500. So their recurring expenses, 6,500. So their fixed uh, uh, income is covering their expenses. Got some one-time expenses in here. I always like highlighting this. I put a replacement car, a new furnace, new roof in here. You can put whatever you want inside of there. But I do like that's a reality of what's happened. Profile and goals. Both people are 62. So let's take a look at taxes. A lot of other things to look at, but today's video is on taxes. So we're going to the tax chart. There's a lot of charts here to look at. Your estimated total tax you're going to be paying, where your income source is from, by year. That's what's super cool about new retirement is you could see it by year. You can see this table over here to the side changes. Those numbers changes as I cycle through the years. You know exactly what the source is of the income. Here's all your deductions. Here's net taxable income by federal tax bracket. Okay, this is the key to managing your taxes. So first thing I notice is that they're paying no tax here in 2024. So they retired and they're going to be living off their savings. They're not taking Social Security till 67. So they're taking money out of a brokerage and their savings account here, and they really aren't showing any income. That's interesting. So there's an opportunity to take up to the standard deduction out of a IRA and not paying any tax on it. And then you could just choose. I would recommend, if I saw this person, I said, why aren't you taking out at least a standard deduction? I think that's close to 28,000, and then fill up the 10% bracket here. I mean, that's just easy money. The way you look at this chart is you see this dark color here is the 10% bracket. This peach color is the 15% bracket. I'm showing the tax rate in the United States going back to 2017 levels in 2026. I don't expect Congress to do anything. So, but then another thing you'll notice is, we may not be filling up the 10% bracket here. And then one of the bigger things to notice is this 25% tax bracket here. This big jump up is RMDs kicking in when they, turn, I think it's 75 for a 62-year-old. But that jumps from 15% tax to 25% tax. So one of the things you can do is pull money out of your IRA, put it either in a Roth or put it in your brokerage account, pull it out down here in these years, 2024, any one of these years or all of these years, you could pull that money out and only pay 15% tax on it, especially here. May get some 0 and 10 here, but at least 15%. Save 10% on your tax bill right there. So that's very visual, easy to see you got a problem. Ideally, you'd like this to be a flat line. You're paying the same amount of tax every year, but RMDs cause a little problem that you need to manage. So I talk about Roth conversions. Check out over here, you click on Explorer's Roth Conversion Explorer kicks up. And there's different ways of a philosophy of how you want to do Roth conversions. Do you want to have the highest estate value at the end, highest tax bracket, lowest lifetime tax liability, and managing your IRMA, which is your Medicare supplement premiums? Let's just do by tax bracket. And we're going to maximize the 12%, which will turn into the 15% bracket. Okay. I'm not trying to make you an expert on doing this, but this gives you an optimized Roth conversion by year. So it's saying in this year, 2025, you should do almost a $60,000 conversion. And every year, what you should take out. It's got 20 conversions in there. Here's the current plan is 0. The optimized plan is this. You can see your account balances change. And one of the things to notice, and this is critical, is notice in the optimized plan, you have 3.74 million. I'm going to switch this to optimistic, make it a little more dramatic for you. Optimistic returns. So you have, at the end of your life, 7.65 million. And in the no Roth conversion, you have 7.82 million. Notice you have more. Okay, 7.82, let's say 7.8 versus 7.7, let's say it's $100,000 less you got. What? That makes no sense, Joe. Why would I do Roth conversions if I have $100,000 less? Well, you've got 1.75 million in Roth accounts that you already paid taxes on it. That's tax-free. That's tax-free. You're going to have to pay at least 10% removing that, maybe 15, maybe 20, but you got 1.75 tax free. That's why you want to, believe me, your heirs that you passed on this money to will thank you for having that be tax free instead of something they have to take over like a 10-year period during their peak earning years, right? So that's Roth. Another thing is, you take a look at, well, here's a chart of, federal income tax rates with doing the Roths and not doing the Roths. But another thing that I like to highlight to people is this IRMA fees. This is your Medicare premiums. You can see if you don't do anything, your IRMA fees are going to be higher than if you take your distributions a little bit more level over a period of time. So just an outstanding tool to look at, suggest our Roth conversions or pulling money out of your pre-tax dollars by having clear vision of years in advance. So to me, the lesson is, from the discussion I was having with my retirement guys, you can't just assume, year by year, you're going to pay the taxes that you owe. You've got to have vision of that, or you don't have to. It's best to have vision if things go as you believe with your expenses and your income and returns. And you can vary returns here very easily with optimistic, average, pessimistic. There's average, there's pessimistic. You can just simple toggle. If you have vision of that, you can save yourself tens of thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on what your asset level is, for simple timing. Another thing I wanted to bring up here, I'm going to put this on optimistic. I'm going to go back. Let me get out of this. I was going to go back to taxes again. To do next by taxes by bracket. This is on average. I'm going to change this to optimistic, and I'm going to show you something here. If it shows up, no, it didn't show up. Well, anyway, but net income, this is optimistic now, which is the higher return rates. I think my IRA, I got them making like 10%. You could just see a huge opportunity in here to pull in 25% tax bracket money here, and even 28% tax bracket here if the stock market recovers pretty well. Pull that all back into this period, and maybe some totally tax-free dollars here in 2024. So this software is called New Retirement. There's a link in the show notes here. Very first link you'll come to, get a free 2 weeks. You can play around with this software. If you like it, they unlock it. These explorers like Roth Explorer, Social Security Explorer, and an ability to change interest rates. They give you a free version of the software. It's really a teaser. You pay $120 a year, you get all this stuff unlocked. For $120, I'm making decisions with my portfolio every year that are worth significantly more than that. You will too. I'm telling you, this is the premier software out there. Check it out with that link for free 2 weeks. Just play around with it. Sign up, just play around with it for 15 minutes. If you don't love it, don't do anything. All right. All right. It does Monte Carlo simulations, and that's what this chart is based on. Let me go to Monte Carlo. You can look at Monte Carlo results right here on their portfolio. You can, vary the investment returns. You can vary inflation, vary medical inflation, vary wage growth. There's just so many things to do. There's another one. What if? I like this. What if scenario? This is just simple. Here's my savings balances. I can say, what if I lived 5 years longer than expected? That's what happens at green line. What if I get 1% higher rate of return? It looks like that. What if I get 1% lower rate of return? What if I take out a $50,000 loan? I've never done that. But anyway, I wanted to show how I get clear vision best I can. It's not going to be perfect, but at least RMDs are not going to hit me and I'm going to say, what happened? I am currently 59 years old. I've got till I'm 75 to manage that tax load, and it's a big deal. Okay? Got any questions? Got any scenarios you'd like me to run I've got a dummy account here in New Retirement that I can play around with. I know this isn't a perfect example for you. Everybody's significantly different. They got different risk profiles. They got different number of assets. They got different places that they're investing that money. But the what ifs you can play with New Retirement give me great confidence to retire and great confidence to spend money. All right, this is Joe out.